Dad life
All right.
for sure.
Yep.
Change this.
Yeah. Crazy stuff, man. So I'm going to check, make sure we're live here in some places and make sure that we're good. And then I'm just going to go from there. But technical difficulties like crazy, right? So, yeah, we're all set, dude.
I would
we're
call
live.
it
More like parental difficulties.
More like physical difficulties.
Physical difficulties, right? Yeah, dude. That's how it goes, man. That's how dad life is, especially when you're on kid duty for the day and stuff. Like,
it's 100% how dad life goes. At least for us right now. Feel so disorganized most of the time.
Are we ever organized though? Like I don't know about you, man, but there's days that you feel like you got to plan together.
Can you hear me?
Yep. Yes, I can. Uh-oh.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Yeah.
I can't hear you.
Oh my God. See, that's how it goes.
Yeah.
What about now? No? Nothing?
Some buttons real quick.
Nothing? Oh man. What in the world? That's kind of crazy.
Going.
So Kyle will be back. We're having some physical difficulties, technical difficulties. That's how first stream goes, right? You try to iron out the details and trying to get things working, and then it just doesn't work the way that you thought it was going to work, right? So super funny, but definitely going to be something that we'll be back here in a quick minute. But until then, I'm just double checking a couple other locations, make sure things look okay. There he is, coming back. Let's see what we've got going on. What you got?
There. I'm back.
Are we back?
Yeah.
All right.
I don't know what happened. I didn't think it was sitting here.
I could hear you just fine, so it was good. It was good.
Here we go.
Awesome.
Yeah, let's try this.
So having some fun today. That's for sure.
Here we go.
There you go.
This is better. This is better for me.
Well, I mean, you're gonna hear me better, and then everybody's gonna hear you better. So we're good.
Yeah, you got the professional studio set up, and I have my basement with my iPhone and I'm lucky my wife has this ring light.
Yeah, I got my mic sitting up here in the corner. I like to keep it out of the way, but
is your kid holding that this time?
He should be. I should make him hold it. Like, don't tell him that it's actually working, and just have him hold on to it and just be like, "Here, hold this for me the whole time."
The whole time. It could be 5 minutes. It could be 5 hours. We don't know.
Yeah, we don't know. I'll just walk away. I'll be right back and just let him sit there and keep holding it. Like, just keep holding it.
Yeah.
That's like typical dad punishment right there. It's like, hold this thing. Like, hold this penny against the wall with your nose.
Absolutely. Usually my wife's like, listen, timeout's like 2 minutes, man. Like, you need to stop that.
And I'm like, timeout? Like, timeout's as long as I want it to be. What are you talking about?
Like, who's the parent here?
That's not just his timeout. That's my timeout.
Right? Dude, oh my gosh.
And it's so true. Like, when it comes to just thinking about, like, you ever have that feeling when you ground your kids and it's like you're grounding yourself at the same time? Because
every time
I swear it just like they get so more overbearing. They're just like, I'm so bored. I'm sick of being grounded. And you're just like, what is happening? Why am I feeling bad about this?
Yeah. No, it happens every time. Like, you're like, listen, man, you're not going outside. I'm like, shit, that's where all my friends are on the cul-de-sac tonight. I don't want to go outside.
Right. And then I think that's funny too. Like, you guys live in a cul-de-sac too, don't you?
Yeah, we do.
Yeah. Like, how wicked crazy is that? Is that, we've found out through our connection and through the months that we've been, hanging out and chit-chatting with each other and doing all that we actually have a lot of similarities in terms of like how we got into the online world and the programs we've been in and the people we've gotten connected to. And it's like, even like our, we're dad of a couple kids and we both work full-time jobs still. And our, full-time jobs are pretty decently demanding and like just all these things that going on and just blows my mind of all these little things. And then last time we were talking, he's like, yeah, we got this, we live in a cul-de-sac. And I'm like, what? Like, we live in a cul-de-sac. Like, what are you talking about? Like, it's crazy how that stuff can get connected like that. It just blows my mind. But dude, yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, and we got to track it all the way back, dude, to it's to GIFs and memes.
Yeah,
that's where it all began.
That is where it all began.
That's actually the power of like actually being your real self online, right?
Mm-hmm.
To get people to know, like, and trust you, right? We all hear that, and so, but that develops real relationships. And so when you put funny stuff up, like, you're going to connect with some people. Some people may not find that stuff funny, but who cares? Like, it's a funnel anyway, right? You funnel your entire life, and you don't even realize you're doing it. Like, you're not friends with every single person you've ever met, right? And so you're friends with people who you find out you have things in common with. And so the only way to do that is to put yourself out there, your real self out there.
Yeah. Yeah. And I totally agree with that. And I've got my 4-year-old now bugging. What are you doing?
We're definitely going to have my 2 kids butting in. So
I'm sure they will.
What's up, man?
Yeah. You like
What's
it when
his
I'm
name?
on camera, don't you? What was that?
What's his name?
Owen.
Yeah,
this is my youngest. He's 4, but he doesn't look 4. This dude is like just stop growing.
Dad, I can't.
Right. I know. No, I don't. We're not gonna do lap time. Hey, your uncle and your papa's upstairs. Go hang out with them. No? Okay, well then you can be quiet.
No, you got a babysitting crew.
Yeah, well we're gonna end up doing hey, what are you doing? No, upstairs. Go on. Upstairs. Go on. Yes, you can take that upstairs. Well, he's got this weekend we're actually leaving here right after this is done, and we're heading out of town. Katie and I are, and we're going to an event with our team. Oh, yep.
Not yet. I thought I heard somebody, but.
But yeah, so we're heading out of town, and so my dad and my youngest brother is here, and they're going to be watching the boys for the weekend while we're out of town. And we've got an event that we're going to with some people from our team, from our business, and so we're going to go out to this resort that's about an hour and a half away, and go probably, I don't know if we're going to rent a boat or not. I don't know if we decided, but we're going to doing all that. And so my dad showed up here a little bit ago, like right before we got started, and basically it was just they're going to be watching the kids for us and stuff. And so I'm kind of like, hey, they're here now, so you don't have to bother me. But at the same time, I don't mind it. That's the thing about being a dad is like, most people are like, oh, you just told your kid to go away. It's like, that's dad talk for like, I love you. Bye.
Yeah. If you're not a parent, you don't understand that. That's for sure.
Yeah. That's totally true. And
when you're being like constantly needed, touched, like demanded for, you need some private time. You need your space.
Yeah. Oh, and it's the thing about being a dad is a lot of people they downplay it because they're like, oh, the dads aren't the nurturing type. I'm like, I don't know about you.
That's not true.
I get more times than not that when I'm sitting down, like maybe we're sitting down having dinner or something like that, or we're sitting on the couch watching TV, and both my boys will come like pile on me because I don't mind the whole like dog pile thing. I don't mind the whole like getting crazy and elbows to the face and whatever. Like it's like, yeah, that hurts, and like don't elbow me in the face, but at the same time you do it. But like Katie on the other hand, she's like, don't crawl on me, and I'm like, crawl on me, I don't care. But that's the nurturing for that come from dads, right?
Yeah, for sure. And you got to teach them a roughhouse a little bit.
Yeah, so when they get older, they can roughhouse with each other and then leave you alone.
Exactly. And I got a 6 and a 3-year-old now. They just had birthdays a couple weeks ago.
Right.
And yeah, they're starting to get in on that roughhousing. Now you got to be careful because the 6-year-old man, oh, he gets mad at the 3-year-old. Like, he gets mad, and that won't be good sometimes. They were
Yeah.
on the trampoline yesterday, and Finn's my oldest, and he like pulled his leg back. He was like on his back, but he pulled his leg back like he was gonna kick my youngest. I'm like, Finn, you got to do the dad voice. You got to get in there before it actually happens.
Yeah.
But
Anybody who hasn't experienced the dad voice, I want to talk to them, because that's the thing is dad voice, man. That is something that I grew up with, like that fear of God gets instilled in you, and you're just like, whoa, oh, dad used his dad voice. Like, I don't, like, everything just stops. And right. I never knew how powerful that could be until I became a dad. And so Jeremiah and Owen, they're 12 and 4. So they're 8 years apart. And so there's that gap there where Jeremiah was by himself for a long time. And I remember the first time that he popped up and like did something wrong. And I was like, hey, knock it off. And he just went, whoop. And I was like, oh, whoa. Like, that's the feeling of that power. Like,
it's like, I just got my superpower.
I can fly now. I am the strongest man in the world. Like, all I gotta do is like,
that's
hey,
so funny.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
And for anybody who's watching this right now, like, honestly, feel free to pop in. I mean, we're open for questions. We're open for comments, ideas, any things that you guys are, wanting to know about us. We're gonna go into our intro a little bit here, but yep, I saw the little feet. There's the little feet.
A leg. Yeah.
Yep, there they are.
Come on, bud.
Yep. But
get your brother.
Oh, there you go. Oh, there he is.
Yeah. They're gonna come down here and probably go outside.
There you go.
We got a fenced-in backyard.
Nice. Yeah. So while we're going through here, so just a little bit of an intro. We've kind of talked a little bit about it already. Talked about our 2 boys and stuff, but and obviously Kyle's talked a little bit about his. But I'll go. Why don't you go first? Tell people who you are and what you guys do, and
a little about me.
Yeah. All about Kyle.
All about me. Kyle. Okay, bud. So, father of 2 kids, Finn and Ollie. They're a handful for sure. But so I've been married for 6 years. I'm from St. Louis, Missouri. Let's see, moved out to California for a little bit, and then when I started dating my wife, who was back here, I ended up moving back, and then we got married. So that's a fun story. But yeah, and so both of us are entrepreneurial. When we started dating, I owned a couple call centers, and so that had that little. It wasn't really little. That was for 9 years, and then those kind of ended, I'd say, in a very poor way. and so now I work for a hearing aid company here locally in the marketing department, and then kind of in the middle of that journey is the online stuff, right? And so towards the end of my call centers is actually where I started to branch into what can I do marketing wise online to help my business. And that took me down such a wild path, man. So I ended up in like Billie Jean is Marketing's Facebook course. And for a little bit, I was like, yeah, I can see myself doing some agency work. I don't mind doing, ad spend on Facebook and stuff like that. And kind of took some of that knowledge into this new role that I'm at now, because we do Facebook ads all the time. But that really didn't feel like it was the right move. And so that actually, being in Billie Jean, introduced me into ClickFunnels, and because he one of his, like, he used to promote TD, or not TD pages. Now I'm going to blank on the squeeze page that it was. But anyway, ClickFunnels is what he promoted.
Lead pages, maybe?
Lead pages. That's exactly what it was. Lead pages. Yeah, and then he started flipping everything over to ClickFunnels. And I think just from clicking into ClickFunnels off of one of his links, and I didn't purchase it then, but then you get sucked into the Russell Brunson life, right, on your Facebook, on whatever you're on. And so that introduced me to him. I ended up getting the books. and eventually did the OFA challenge. And coincidentally, Josh and I were in the same OFA challenge, which is
didn't know it
pretty
at the time
fun.
though.
No, didn't know it at the time, which that's pretty funny to find out. And so that actually, so OFA led me into the affiliate boot camp, which ultimately put me in the Avengers, ClickFunnels Avengers group. And really the rest is history from there, just connecting with people and figuring out that affiliate marketing is deeper than just pushing Russell Brunson's $100 OFA challenge.
Mm-hmm. And yep,
that's where I'm at now.
That's where we got connected, was the ClickFunnels Avengers group. And we traced that back because we realized, like, where were we together that we know we were together at that time when when we got connected. And that was exactly where we nailed it back to. We're like, oh, we were both part of the ClickFunnels Avengers group, and we were kind of going through and connecting with people, and that's where it came from. And I'm sure there was some mutual friends involved in there because we were all starting to kind of, do that together. And now it's funny,
yeah, that's how the algorithm works, right? You connect with people that in the same groups and whatever, and then you start seeing their stuff, and that's when we started memeing back and forth to each other.
Yep.
Yeah, but we're on a completely different path though from even before then, because you had your business prior to going into OFA. OFA was more of you went into OFA with, I know what my business is, so I'm looking at this funnel build for this business. I went into OFA just curious. It's like, I want to know more about funnels. I want to know more about marketing online, but I didn't have a specific niche or product that I was ready to go out and sell. And so it wasn't even until halfway through the damn thing when I was like, I'm just going to build one for OFA challenge so I'm actually completing the tasks when when you're building through ClickFunnels and you're building your funnel and whatever. So it was important to get done, but actually I never even launched it.
Yeah. Well, and that's, kind of what you're talking about there. That's one of the things that you're right. Like, I had a different story kind of coming into that, because for me, and I'll go into, my stuff here. So basically, I grew up in California, which is funny. And I don't even think we talked about that. I don't know if we ever touched on that.
Yeah, you said you're from Northern California though, and I was down.
Yeah, you were in Southern California, but yeah. So basically, I grew up in California. That was, born and raised in born in Carmichael, raised in Citrus Heights area. When I was younger, my dad had moved up to North Dakota, and that was his, he got a nice engineering job up here. We had some family up here already. And so my mom and my dad were already split. And so my dad moved up here and I stayed down there with my mom. And what was, I did some things down there. I was actually, I'm going to go into this funny story. I don't think I've told you this one, but I'm going to do it just live right here, because I think this talks about my mentality when I was younger. But so I grew up in the high school years. I was into BMX racing, like pedal bikes. And
I hope you watched the movie Rad like a gazillion times like I did.
Oh yeah. Oh, absolutely. All right. And so not even just saying, like, I did. That movie was always like, anytime we had a get together with the BMXers, like the movie Rad was always playing.
Yeah. You ate, slept, and breathed that lifestyle, huh?
Oh yeah. Well, and racing with BMX is very different, because that lifestyle is all centered around, it's quick, like 30 to 60 second races. So it's very, very high octane, quick, turnaround, heat after heat after heat. It's not like motocross or car racing where it's like, sometimes, hundreds of laps or whatever. It's basically just, you get up there, you do a race, you have your elimination, all that kind of stuff. And it was a lot of practice, a lot of work to put in. But I was on track to go and start working on going into the semi-pro field. Cool. And so I was state champion 2 years in a row. I had a great sponsor on my back. I ended up getting factories.
Quite literally on your back?
Or was quite literally was on my back. Yeah, right.
That's our dad joke pun of the day.
Yeah. That's awesome. Didn't even attempt to dad joke and already dad joking. Like that's dad life, right?
It's life. Yeah. Dad life.
But yeah, so I was in a position where I was, my sponsor was like, hey, we just got a call from this factory team. And factory teams are like, for people that don't know racing terms, factory team is like the big sponsors. Like in my case, it was Specialized. Specialized still to this day makes really high performance bikes and things like that. And so I was going to go semi-pro, and then my parents went to Hawaii over my 18th birthday, which I still to this day, I'm like, why didn't you take me with you? Like, it was my 18th birthday. Like, come on.
Jerks, man. It's
right. It was probably my stepdad's idea. Like, that's the dad thing. It's like, no, like, I don't want you to go with me.
Yeah. But, sorry, my kids are coming in the door here.
You're good. There's one. And two.
Hey, come here. You want to get on camera?
Yeah. Oh, look at that. What's up, buddy?
He can't hear you. Here.
Oh. What's up, buddy?
Can you say hi?
Say hi.
Yeah, you can say hi, Finn. Oh.
Look at that.
You got to get closer, or else you're going to pull it off.
See, this right here. This is Dad Life 101. Like, kids are on the lap, hanging out.
He's just talking.
The oldest is Finn, right?
Don't touch that, please. Okay, I got it. No.
Nice. So, anyways, but yeah, so I threw a party being 18. Look at, he's waving. Hey, buddy. But I threw a party being 18, and parents are gone and everything, and hanging out and whatever. And I got caught, and of course, being 18-year-old kid, I lied about it and was like, no, I really don't want to go through. And
okay, there it goes.
Oh, phone
Okay,
down.
Oh no.
Let's
Oh,
go.
no, oh, no.
Let's go.
All right. So Kyle's gonna go take care of the kiddos, and then we're gonna go ahead and just there we go. We got it. We're good.
All right.
He's getting back.
Thanks for the mute assist there.
Yeah, you're good. I got you.
Okay.
Daddy,
You got to get down. Go play with your brother.
Yep.
What'd I tell you, man?
Yep. We knew it. We knew it was gonna happen. We knew it was gonna happen.
Chaos. Okay. Don't touch anything this time.
Yep. All right.
All right. Sorry.
Anyway,
So
long story short.
you denied it.
Yep. I denied it. I got in trouble. And so what brought me to where I am today is I ended up doing a jump ship, and my dad was living up here. So I said, you know what? I said, I'm out. I'm going to go live with my dad. I'm going to go up to North Dakota. I'm going to do my thing. And then that was it. That was what brought me up here. And Katie and I met right after that. And my plan originally was to go to college.
Hang on one second.
Yeah, you're good. But my plan was basically go to college, take care of that thing, go back home to California when I was all done. And when I had met Katie, the biggest thing was I had gone through and started building a relationship with her. And I decided that, you know what, I kind of like living up here in this area. I kind of like being, where we're at in terms of, just a lot of the people that are up here. People are nicer, the whole Midwest nice thing. Like that's a huge thing, man. And I never thought
it's the real deal.
It is. And so, yeah, so we, I did different jobs and everything. I got into network marketing, back in 2005. My first network marketing job ever was selling meat door to door.
That's hilarious.
And what's funny about that is that I didn't know it was a network marketing opportunity until they were telling me, like, hey, you should bring people into your team and you should, get people to sell meat for you. And then you can just get a commission off of their sales. But, as far as it goes, it was just kind of one of those things where that led in, I was doing other day jobs and stuff like that throughout the time. And I was doing a bunch of other things. And, that one didn't work out. And then I would, like, a couple years later, I got into another one that was selling vacuums and air purifiers. And that one didn't work out. And then, you kind of jumped around. But to jump forward a little bit here, back in 2014, I started my day job that I have currently, which is working for a major software company doing software support. And in 2018, we got introduced into the current network marketing company that we're in. And that's where we really were like, man, like this, the people are awesome. We love the environment. And so when it came to going into our online journey, where you and I unknowingly were in the same OFA challenge,
right?
Like you said, my goal was to basically to go through and build our business and use the OFA challenge to build a funnel to sell our products. And so, which, to rewind back a little bit, I forgot to mention this. So Katie and I have been together since 2005, and we've been married since 2009. We've been married for 11 years. And we've got 2 kids. Jeremiah's 12, Owen is 4. So definitely, we've had quite the experience, quite a long time with kids. But anyways, so basically we got into the OFA challenge. I launched a funnel. We ended up getting a bunch of leads. We were getting people, but what I realized is that we were getting leads from people that weren't really
not buyers.
Right. They're not buyers. They were tire kickers, and they were older. Yeah. They were all in their late 50s to late 60s, because we were doing, stuff about vitamin. And I didn't narrow down my age range. So I was getting leads from people that are just like, oh, I want your freebie, but I don't want to buy your thing.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of where that came in. And what was crazy about it is that, same thing, got into ClickFunnels, got into the ClickFunnels Avengers to try to promote the one funnel away challenge, because that 100% commission, $100 a shot, that you can't really go.
Yeah. You got to get into high ticket if you want to make some real money.
Right. Exactly. So,
but talking about what you learned with your targeting,
right?
Because the OFA is about funnel building more than anything else, right? And so I'm really glad that Russell went ahead and did this Traffic Secrets book, and put some more resources into that. You need that for your funnel. You need that for any part of your paid business.
Right.
Well, and it's more than just paid. There's strategy around obviously doing organic reach, which is what you and I do primarily.
Right.
But you need to know these things, and it's not simple. You can figure it out on your own, but it takes some time. But you need that. You need those resources to increase your speed to be able to figure that out. Like if that was covered differently in one of the courses that you've done, you would have found that out instead of the hard way wasting all that money on, I needed to do something different for my targeting. Lesson learned, but that stuff's expensive. Like lessons can be expensive, which is why we pay for coaches and courses and stuff. So to skip that hard lesson and just get to the meat of the deal.
Right. Well, and that's pretty awesome. And in terms of, when we're looking at just how we've learned things over time and how we've gotten things rolling over time, like just a lot of that stuff going in terms of, learning where the traffic comes from, learning, what's important, learning what offers you really should be promoting. Like a lot of that stuff is, is pretty awesome. But so here's something interesting on a side note. So apparently StreamYard doesn't show us comments from Facebook when we're going to multiple locations. So I just pulled up and we've got, I just want to do some shout outs. So we've got my dad was watching. We've got Bridget that's watching, Sybil watching. So we've got some people here. And so, hey guys, thanks for popping in. And this is something that's, right here. This is, online marketing 101 is you don't always know how everything's going to work out until it happens. And that's why I said episode, 001, the beginning. Because, this is the beginning. This is, we're working on all the kinks. We're taking care of all that stuff. And, Bridget said something. She's like, she popped in. She said, no girls. And it's like, nope, you got 2 boys. I've got 2 boys. That's it. And I don't know about you, but we're done.
Yeah.
We've got 2 and we're like, nope, no more.
We were like that, and I'm still probably like that. I think my wife is. I know my wife is getting the itch again, so that'll be. We got to talk about it.
Yeah, we had that right away. Actually, for us, it was the other way around. It was we wanted it right away. Well, let me preface this. She wanted it right away. I was like, we got two. Like, we've got everything set the way we want it. Our vehicles are good for two kids. If we get a third kid, we're gonna have to go for like the mom van. We're gonna have to go into that. And I was like, I'm not really ready for that. And so I basically, we were at odds. And eventually what happened was we just both decided, like, you know what? We're good. Like, we're set. We don't need to do anything else. And yeah, so that's kind of where we're at. But it's cool that you guys are at least, it's you're open about it, Like you said, you got to have that conversation.
Well, it's certainly more than one conversation, right?
Right.
But it's like everything, like you say, and maybe, I don't know. I feel like I look at it, part of it, and I shouldn't say all of it because it would be nice to have another. It'd be fun to have another baby. It really would. But there's all the pragmatic things that go into, like you just said. We'd have to buy a new car. We'd have to buy another car. We'd have more daycare costs if we both work. When we're like, our oldest is going into kindergarten, and in the non-COVID year, we would be saving all that money from daycare costs. But now what we have to do is he goes to, because his school is a hybrid model, which makes no sense to me. This is like all or nothing. What are we doing?
Right.
But that's a conversation for another day.
It is.
So we got to send him back to his daycare, his preschool, and how they handle it and are fine, and the elementary schools can't. That's another thing. But we got to send him back to do his e-learning there, because Heather and I can't work from home. She's in school and then is running her business, so she doesn't have the time. And so to get him the attention that he needs for his school, like, we got to send him back there, and that's more cost. So not to just be the typical dad who's just always worried about money, but like, those are real life things that you got to worry about. Like, you got to be able to afford it, and so those are part of the conversations. Which for myself, I'm working on not kind of pivoting to something a little bit different, but I'm working on living in abundance, right? And not having to try not to worry about costs. Like, you still have to be pragmatic, but not just focus on like the negative side. And when it comes to money and affordability, that's a struggle for me right now.
Right.
To for that mindset shift. But
it's tough,
anyway,
dude. Like,
part of my
mindset is hard to be in, because you run into those situations where you're just, you want to believe that these things will happen. Like, so Katie and I, it's no question. We build a network marketing business. We've been trying to build this thing online for the last 9 months, and it's going better now. But man, those first few months are hard. Like, you have a hard time believing, and especially being a husband and a father and a friend and a brother and a son, and like all these roles that you play in your life. The last thing on your mind is that you're just going to get all this great success, and you're going to not have a day job, and you're going to be able to just move forward with the things that you want to move forward with. And that abundance mindset doesn't click right away. Like, you don't think about that and go like, yes, that's going to happen. You start going like, well, what about this and what about that? And like your family and your husband and father, and you start going into fight or flight mode, and you're like, like you talk about spending money on ads. We've been doing that, and that money that we spend, it's like, man, I'm spending a lot of money. Like, and what's happening and the learning experiences. But I got to think about my family, and I got to think about the way that things are, and it's crazy just the way that all, like, most people don't think about it. They think like these online marketers get out and they're just immediately successful. They're just wildly successful. Like, no, it takes a lot of work.
No, it's that iceberg analogy, like you don't see everything that's underneath the sea. And there's a gazillion analogies you can go into, like it takes 21 days to form a habit, like we live in such a instant gratification world, but the people who are successful, you just don't see this trials and struggles. And maybe they document it like this,
right.
But you got to go back and you got to go find those videos. You got to watch them,
right.
But everybody has their learning curve. Nobody just wakes up successful. Like in some way, shape, or form, they had to learn a habit. They had to learn a skill. They had to find a coach. They read the right book or whatever it was. And sometimes even those same things, like you and I could do the exact same stuff and we were going to have two completely different results. We're going to have two completely different takeaways.
Yep.
And that's the reason why people have their own audiences, because your voice connects with somebody else differently than my voice connects with somebody. And all those little things that play into your success.
Right. Absolutely. So, super awesome. And dude, you and I both know this could go on for hours. This could be an all day thing and we could sit here and talk.
Yeah. We usually do talk for 2.5 hours at a time.
We do. Yeah.
Our wives are like, what are you doing down there?
It's like making friends, man. We're building a relationship.
Chatting it up.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing is we've learned a lot about each other over the last few months and, it really over the last few weeks. I mean, that's been the biggest thing is this idea came to fruition just in a couple weeks. And we just, we had our big chat one night and all of a sudden it was like, hey, wouldn't this be cool? And it was like, but yeah, it would. Like we should do it.
Well, we were both launching our YouTube channels, right? And you're
right
way further along than I am right now. But it started out as a conversation of, hey, man, would you want to maybe interview on my channel? And we could just help jumpstart each other's deal, right? And then it just morphed in very quickly in a matter of probably 2 messages. Dude, why don't we just do a podcast or some lives?
Right.
Well, I think dude. Heck yeah.
Started out as like, why don't we just like do lives together? Like I've got StreamYard, like we can totally stream to different platforms. And then he's like, why don't we just make it a podcast? I'm like, oh my God, like we can document our journey. We can do this, this is the stuff that we,
hey,
it's going to be fun because we can get on,
and
right now
we can credit this back to our OFA.
Oh yeah.
Where they talk about taking one piece of content, but then spreading it out to, all these other pieces.
What's going to happen with this is so a little future information for people that are watching is the idea behind this is that we are going to turn this into an actual podcast. We'll obviously have to have some editing in there and things like that, which we'll talk about.
Like when the camera fell, or should we leave that in there?
I think the camera falling should be in there. I think the sound of that, like the clunk as it fell down.
It was on brand.
Yeah, absolutely. It totally on brand. Like dad life, kid pulled down the camera, but we are putting this on. It's going to be on podcast form here at some point. Right away. We're not doing this too terribly often, maybe once a week, once every other week, whatever we can kind of figure out, and we'll see where it goes. Dude, I'm excited. I think that this is, I think that this is the big thing. Bridget just said it, makes you real. So yeah, that's awesome. You're right, Bridget.
That's the truth. Like when you're online, especially when you're running an online business, right? Like you want people to know, like, and trust you is one of the acronyms, right? And then results, value, and lifestyle, right? And a lot of times lifestyle gets ignored,
right?
And people need to see you. They need to get to know you, and when they get to know you, it's that much easier for people to want to support you if they like you, So,
and that's the truth, and that's what we're here for. We're probably going to end up talking marketing quite a bit because that's where our head's going. both Kyle and I, that's what we want as our full-time gig, is to be, full-time marketers and be able to run our businesses. He's more into affiliate marketing. I'm more into, network marketing and small business and things like that, which is great because we build off of each other. We bring we bring a lot of things into the conversation that we can help each other with certain things. I've already gotten value from Kyle in terms of affiliate marketing ideas and just the ways to work things. And, I'm sure I can say the same for you, is like, I'm sure there's things that I've talked about that you're like, whoa, I didn't think about that,
100%. I was saying the other day to another friend of mine, because I like to chat it up with other people that are in kind of my position, right? They're marketing. They may be a couple steps ahead. Maybe they're a couple steps behind, but just being able to kind of talk out some things that are going on just from a business standpoint, but even just to get to know you. But those conversations to me are much more valuable than paying for a coach is. They really are. Like, to be able to talk through these different things, because not only are you doing that, but then you're creating a friendship too at the same time.
Absolutely.
All right,
and before we sign off here, it's funny, Bridget just brought up, she says, next time, Kyle, you need to preload the water guns.
I know, right? You hear them over and over. This is what I'm dealing with right now. I have some dominoes that are not yet open, so I'm opening these. I got to have a water gun. Like, good grief.
Well, and
I think what I'm going to do is take a page out of Josh here and get a babysitter.
And honestly, it wasn't planned just for this podcast. It wasn't planned.
I know.
Daddy,
it just worked out so perfectly that my dad showed up right as we were getting started, and I'm just like, yes, like this is perfect. They can occupy it upstairs, but yeah, dude.
And Heather almost will never be here for these. She is a full-time makeup artist, and so she does weddings on the weekends, right? And she is normally out of the house by like 6 a.m. and especially during non-COVID COVID situations, and helping people get ready for their big day. But Saturday weekends are bro time over here.
Yep,
weekends are bro time.
And this is one of the things, like, honestly, this is why we agreed, for anybody that's wondering, like, why would you agree to a Saturday morning when you're going to have the kids around? It was like, that's the point. It's like
real life.
Real life.
Real life.
We don't want to be this, like, it's not about perfection. It's about just doing it. Art Williams says, just do it, and it's like, that's the thing, is I love that. So,
well, I think it also speaks volumes too, like, while we're staying on the marketing theme, like, it's so much better to have imperfect action than perfect inaction, right? So if we waited for when I was going to have like a perfect moment without the kids, not in my basement, and gotten all the gear that you have over there to make it perfect, like, we wouldn't be doing this today.
And that's just it. It's a matter of just, like you said, progression, just getting it in the direction that we want to go. And this is the direction we want to go. And, we talked about the moment that we can both walk away from our jobs and we can be full-time husband, full-time dads, full-time business owners, because it is like 3 full-time jobs. Like, being a husband is full-time, being a dad is full-time, and then, being a business owner is full-time. And so there's none of it like, 30, 30, 30. It's everything is 100%. But eventually I'd like to do this every morning, get up, have a cup of coffee, like morning show style, but we'll see where it takes us. Honestly, I think it'd be fun.
As long as the people watching think it's interesting, I'm all for it.
Yeah. Well, and let's just be real. Even if they don't think it's interesting, is it really for them?
We'll talk.
No, it is totally for them.
Very true.
And that's the thing, is it's like, for everybody watching, we appreciate you guys being here. We appreciate everybody taking time out of their Saturday morning to hang out with us and, deal with the craziness and deal with our kids bugging us and all that kind of stuff.
I said in my little post the other day, I said, and we're definitely going to embarrass ourselves. And I have definitely had a few embarrassing moments.
Well, so, more so you than me, but
over here.
Yeah. So cool, man.
It's all good.
Katie and I are going to head out to our...
I'll be the butt end of a joke. No big deal.
And, dude, we're going to be back, maybe next week.
Kid just brought me this.
Oh, yep. That's honestly, that's what it's going to be like. We're going into Minnesota. Minnesota requires masks everywhere right now. So
Yeah.
it's going to be walking into the hotel, like with our masks on, and then be like, all right, let's go back outside so we can take them off.
Right. My favorite is when people drive with their masks on, by the way.
Oh, that is hilarious. Absolutely hilarious. But cool, man.
Yeah.
Well, that's it. That's 45
Hey,
minutes.
this was fun. I hope everybody else had some fun and got to know us a little bit, and we'll be back in a couple Saturdays probably.
Yeah,
the
a
next
couple
one?
Saturdays. Maybe we'll talk about it. Maybe we'll do it once a week, because once a week probably wouldn't be too bad. It wouldn't be too terrible to do it. Just trying to not overwhelm ourselves with all these things. But yeah, we'll it'll be out there. People will know. You guys will know. You'll be the first to know. So
that they will.
So
all right, man. We'll have a good trip. We'll talk later.
All right, we are signing off. Those two
everybody.
dads taking it easy.